Hi guys, so I'm just gonna do something real quick. So basically, I'm building a new VM server host slash I'm building a new VM host and also NAS and other stuff. So basically, I was thinking about Unraid, and the problem is what I would actually do with actual Unraid is basically use it mainly as an OS, and the Docker stuff would basically do the stuff with Docker, but it wouldn't let me really test easily my virtual machines. So I basically am sticking with the VMware workstation, and and it's really more work to set up a Mac OS VM on Unraid without taking a lot of prerequisites. And so basically, I'm gonna build stuff. So I'm gonna show you how to install SATA cable, and also what I do, I actually test the motherboard just to make sure it works. Be actually for plugging stuff in, and I'm also gonna install something that I'll show you after I switch. Let's see. So as you can see, this is my okay. So basically, I'm gonna first show you how to install SATA. So basically, most people probably know this already, but basically, SATA cables are curved like this. So there's two different types of a cable that look like this: a SAS cable and then a SATA. This is a SATA, and SATA works with SATA, and SAS works. So basically, SATA is backwards compatible with SAS, and SAS isn't backwards compatible with SATA. So you have to basically do that. You match up this L part right here with the motherboard. On this motherboard, it's facing down. So you plug it in. Make sure you get one set of cables that have a clip on there because they don't compromise easily. So these 6 cables are for my drives. I have another one, which is because I have in total 7 drives. One drive is basically an SSD, and then the other drives are three SSDs and 4 hard drives, and then basically um they're 4 terabytes plus 4 terabyte plus 4 terabyte equals 4 terabyte. I have in total 16 terabytes of storage because that's all I really use at the moment. I basically have um bigger drives coming to replace them because of I'm not running them in RAID or JBOD. So basically, you would need to have a way of turning on the motherboard. So I have this cable, which is from an old case. All I'm waiting for is a case, the processor, and that was it. I just got the cooler today. Here's the cooler. It's a Hyper 212 Black Edition. Honestly, I'm just powering um a i5 40. I mean the i5 10400, because this is an i3 10. This is an i3 10100F, which is a i3 10100F, which is a i3, and it doesn't have an iGPU. I needed an iGPU because mainly I wanted to basically remove a graphics card, but I don't know if I will be doing that. But I wanted something specifically for Plex and coding without, so I can disable the GGPU and just totally dedicate it towards towards a VM host. Like I might install Unraid just for the fact that I can pass through a Windows VM to actually that, since I would be having an iGPU, and then the Windows VM would be dedicated just the NVIDIA GPU would be just dedicated to the Windows VM host, and or the VM host if I shut down the Windows VM. and stuff. Because that's how I was failing for. I couldn't basically do actually pass through because of the CPU I had didn't have a iGPU, and the Intel one, and plus the 10500 actually has iGPUs, or also the 10100 also has iGPU, but this one I got for $60, so it was cheaper. So I kept using that. I'm using the same board, which is a B5 a B560 dash A dash M, which is a micro ATX board. And so I have this power button from an older case. The only thing I'm waiting for is a case and also the CPU. And I basically thought that I would put in the IO shield this time because I didn't have the IO shield in last time because of the clips on here were basically on there and I just bent them off. So, and that took a little bit of time, so I just did that. I just did that 2 extra day because I'm going to change a case. I'm going to basically, because I make it so it's easier to change drives, because how I had an old case that they were harder to access the drive, so I just wanted something where I can just pull out the tray, pull out the SATA cables, put in a new extra drive. So there's that. You would need screwdriver, your own thermal paste, but this core specifically, this core right here comes with its own thermal paste. I'm just using TM30 from Corsair. I recommend Noctua. Sorry about that. I was kind of talking a lot. So basically, I'm gonna unbox this. I'm also gonna show you how to set this up. So basically, because it's the same CPU, it's the same SSD, which is a 250 GB SSD. I don't need more than that for the boot drive. If I needed more, I can basically update that to something bigger. But this is something I got for pretty cheap. So first you need to open a box and then take out all the parts. So I'm just gonna take out all the parts. But this is gonna be my new VM host and also my NAS. So because of I was actually debating on getting a QNAP NAS or basically getting an Ace Store NAS or Synology, but basically this computer's pretty much on 24/7 anyway because it's a VM host, and I also mainly and I basically have a way of setting up Time Machine on the computer without needing a without needing to make a Time Machine drive, because I made a Time Machine drive on the hard drive. It worked, but I didn't like it. And so since I basically had an easier way of like setting up a Time Machine backup drive just for backing up a Mac, and I can restore from a Time Machine. I basically just am going to do that, but doing that I would have to upgrade the CPU because of it involves a virtual machine and it also involves other stuff. So basically, since it involves a virtual machine, I would have to have better performance. So this CPU pretty good. It can run like 3 virtual machines, but it runs out of grunt after a little bit of time. So, and I basically I was changing the CPU since basically the cooler I was using before was an Intel stock cooler, which was pretty good, but it was pretty noisy, and it basically kept this thing pretty much super hot, and I didn't like it. So I ended up just moving. I ended up just getting the actual machine. I ended up basically updating the CPU. I'm going to update CPU, which will be here soon. I also am updating the cooler to have it run silent than the Intel stock cooler. And if I need to update the fans, um, that's easier to undo now with this. Because if I wanted to update the fan on the Intel stock cooler, I have to take apart the stock cooler, and I also have to change extra stuff so it would just work. And so I basically got this because it's a 120 millimeter cooler. It's 120 millimeters, and since it's 120 millimeters, I just um needed something just for my. I just needed something that I could basically change the fan to easily, and these things are actually a pain in the butt. So basically, just talking through this. So you just have to put these hooks on there. So I'm just gonna put these on here just for now, so I don't lose them. And then put the fan down. And when I order a Noctua cooler, I mean a Noctua CPU, I mean a Noctua fan that I might just get from somewhere locally. Basically, I'm going to change that fan with this because of it's a silent fan, and also this is actually a really decent cooler for what it is. So, I mean, you just unbox the stuff, so you'll need this stuff. So, you need a bracket right here, bracket cooler stuff. They have a um extension. What the heck is this Intel cooler? Actually, I don't know. So actually, I don't know which one is which. So basically, I'm gonna look it up real quick. So um, I'm pausing the thing right now. So this is LGA 1700. I can figure it out. I actually looked at the manual, but whoever does that, right? I do occasionally. So basically, you're gonna need a couple things. You're gonna need this bracket, which is for 11.x. You're gonna need look at the manual. You're gonna need the square LVM ones, which are these things right here. So, it's a lot of crap. Okay, so you get your thermal paste, you get your clips, and you also get some. I think these are anti-vibration pads, if I recall correctly. These are anti-vibration pads, I think. Let's see. So these are for Intel. These ones. These ones are for AMD. So AMD, you put these on to here, right here, like this, or somehow. I wonder if it's like this. Yeah, that's why. It goes like this. it goes like this. If you see, that's for AMD. This is for Intel, like this. You put this right here, screw it in, screw the other side in, and then you put for the brackets, you get these little clips right here, which are for which goes into these pegs. So one side for Intel, the other side for AMD. So yeah, and so this side is for Intel, this side for AMD, and so you put the little clips that go in here, just make it so they go in there, and you put these plastic clips right here on there. So let me see if I can possibly do a fast forward of that, and I'll show you. Back at it with the next part. So I'm just gonna be doing another part. So I'm gonna show you the next part that I'm upgrading. So let me go overhead. So I had to fix the echo part. There was echo, but basically you'll see what I got. This is what I got, which is the i5 10400, which is technically a side grade, but well, it's actually an upgrade. This was a 10100F. This is a 104. This is a 15. The i5 10400. This was an i3 10100F. So I get iGPU and I also get more cores, which is what I wanted as a main update instead of having, because I think 8 cores was actually enough, but basically I needed an iGPU for a project I wanted to do, and so I needed that. So this clip up here, this tape up here comes off. So what you get is a stock cooler, which I'm surprised about since this is a i5 and it's a 10100. So there's that. You get stock cooler, a sticker, and also you get the manual, which no one actually reads. And this is the stock cooler, and this is the CPU. So this is i3. This is i5. So and this one looks like it wasn't used. Well, there's a little bit of thermocone paste on there, but whatever. Talking about the i3. So basically, I'm gonna do just that. I'm going to show you installing the CPU and how I spread thermal paste. So I put thermal paste using this on there. So let me take care of that real quick. So guys, I am just turned this on, so I'm gonna basically switch to my capture card just so I can basically see if it turns on. If it turns on, sweet, then great. And then I can basically switch back to there. Okay. And then I'm gonna test to make sure NDI works and so on. So I'm about to do it. So yeah. So, oops, that's my Apple TV on. Let's see. So you'll see a blue screen and the computer. I'm plugging in the HDMI cable. I'm just gonna see if it gets a boot screen, and then if it gets a boot screen, then I'm gonna basically plug it in to the Ethernet. I'm gonna plug it into the Ethernet. I'm gonna turn it off and then plug it and then plug in the fan. Just make sure it works. But there's a heatsink on there, so it should stay cool. And let's see, plug in HDMI. Sorry about all this. I actually didn't check this. I just unboxed it as soon as you saw it because that's when I first got it. So now, oh yeah, I gotta plug in the power supply. So sorry about this. You're not seeing this, but power's off. I think I plugged in the power off. Oopsies. So I think I plugged in the power supply backwards. Okay, yeah, sorry about this. I'm gonna pause until I can get it booted. Hi, Jeremy. So, um, like this, we're done with that, and so the next is just waiting for the case. So this is fine. This brings the air this way, and then we turn the switch on. Just make sure the fan works. Now we just go once it turns on. We see if the NDI starts up. Well, I gotta actually turn it off. I gotta turn it off. I forgot I gotta hook up a network. I'll hook up a display just to make sure everything boots just fine. I kind of forgot about that. Let's see, just put that in. I just didn't actually think about this. Forgot about this. And so now we have that up. We're gonna switch to capture and turn it on to see it boot. Oh yeah, wrong one. So I gotta switch to the third one. So yeah. So now we just switch back. So we see OBS has started. Stuff has started. So now we just have to go to desktop and see if it's picking up. As you can see, it's getting picked up. So if we go switch number 3 again, and we're here. So as you can see, mouse, even though computer's over here beside me. So yeah, it works. So now we just go over here, file, shut down. So now if we go back over to the capture card, it should be off. So yeah, capture card off. So now we have the i3, the i5 set up, and the i3 gone. So, and the fan is silent compared to how it is. It's silenter, I guess. If you want complete silent, you need like an octal fan. So yeah, I hope you liked that part of the video, and let me switch back to camera. So I hope you liked that part of the video. It's set up right here, and you will see the actual I will put it into the case in the next part, but basically it'll seem like a whole video to you. This has happened between 3 days, actually, because one day I did the unboxing for I basically showed you how to take this off. I actually did the unboxing for you in one part, and that was one day, and I basically took it out of the box. Then I showed you how to install the mounts, which was another day, and I showed you how to basically that was basically time lapse, and then I did another part which was a few hours ago, and then I did the installation of this right now, so it's within the whole time. So yeah. So next part, here we come. Hi guys, so this is the next part. So I'm gonna be opening this, okay? And to make it easier for you to see, I'm also gonna be putting that into here. The box is pretty big for the Archimedes, but it's a micro ATX case. It's more of a premium case. This is an older case now. So yeah. Um, let's get to it. Let's see. Oh, God, my knife is not sharp right now. There's just so much tape on this thing. I stabbed into the case. Yep. There we go. So what you get is a manual. Like always, a manual. But this is actually nice color. So I'm just turning this upside down to make it easier. Hope nothing just loose in there. I didn't mention the case. It is a Fractal Design Arc MIDI. It is a MIDI tower. It's pretty big for what it is. It's also pretty small for what it is. Because the Fractal Design Arc 5, Define R5 is bigger a little bit. Well, this is the thing. That's power button, reset button. And it has cap and thumb screws, which you need a screwdriver to get these off. Yeah. Oh well. So it has dust filter up here, dust filter in the front. Two, 5.5 days. It has eight hard drive bays. One in the 3.5 inch, 5.25, and the rest are in trace. And also, it is on that. So I was gonna show you building this, but I actually can't because my actual camera is basically gonna be the camera that's right here. Um, is gonna be hit by the motherboard and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna um do it, and then I'm going to just show you the final product. But basically, it's easy. You just install some standoffs and get the right ones for the motherboard. I mean, not the standoffs, but the screws for the standoffs. Look at your manual if you need to, but it should be easy. Um, then you just install. Then you just install the motherboard, and you make sure you install the IO shield. I have mine. I didn't have it in there before because of I didn't actually break off the tabs properly when I first did it. I wasn't in the mood, so yeah. So you'll see that at the end. So I'll see you guys then.
Hi guys, so I'm back. So basically, you just see a blue screen right now because I'm just making sure the machine works. I know it works because I've tested it, but basically, um, just warning notes if you're building this with Archimedes or any kind of case that actually has drive sleds, you pretty much it depends on your size drives. I couldn't basically line up all four of my 4 terabyte drives into here, so which are pretty small drives, but 12 terabyte drives wouldn't fit in this case because of the label would just scratch off, and also it just wouldn't fit. So let me just turn on the computer. And so with this specific one, I actually noticed that um there was a little issue I had where where when the computer starts, it's basically silent, but when actually Windows starts, you hear a tick 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 tick, meaning the fans are spinning and stuff like that. So um as you see, OBS has started up, and so has the Elon tablet. Steam's gonna start up next, but I'm gonna uninstall Steam because I have basically made this from a gaming host to just plain NAS and other stuff and virtual machine hosts. So I also took out I didn't put the graphics card in here, so let me just switch real quick. So
So as you can see, this is the top of the case, but it basically is basically silent other than you can hear a tiny tick. So let me just switch the camera.
because this is what it looks like over here. It's a pretty big case, but it's silenter than the other machine was. But just that annoying tick, it's basically better than the noise. Okay, so that's end for that. This is going back to where it. This was going back to where the other case was, and so yeah. Thanks for watching. Bye.